Hi everybody, here's Krystian from TeamworkCast.
And I'm Mark from Nerdrunners.
And this is Netrunner with TeamworkCast. This is 28th of February 2015. The Mage Store Championship. There we go. In Düsseldorf. And on the left we have FFOX, which we have known from so many videos on our show already. And he's playing NEH. And on the right we have Ollie from a previous round who was playing Leela.
Good old Leela.
Oh, Mark, do you love Leela as much as I do?
I do. I don't play much Criminal. When I do it, it's either Leela or Ken. And I love Leela so much.
She brought so much freshness to the Criminals, because everything was just Andromeda, and then Leela came around and he just completely rocked everybody's world.
I know, and I think like many people who played the game, who maybe didn't understand the power of Leela until she was used on me, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, so you can bounce back lots of my stuff and leave me quite vulnerable. Okay. Yeah,
on paper it sounds horrible. Like you can the ability, for people who don't know, every time agenda is scored or stolen, Leela can bounce back a card that is already installed, not rest, on the hand of the corporation. It sounds like, oh, whatever, then I can just install it again, right? But of course, it happens at the most unfortunate moment for the corporation always. So she gets like those incredibly explosive things. The game already begins. FFOX doesn't rest his R&D. He plays a sweeps week and an ice up HQ and installs a card which turns out to be a pet campaign.
I think that's a fairly solid start for NEH, just kind of getting down a pad campaign early, because I don't know if this is proof, but in my kind of own kind of understanding the psychology of the people I play against, I think when an asset gets to about 4 credits, no one really wants to trash it. I think at 3, everyone's more than happy to trash something, but
yeah, 4 is the. I mean, you will trash it if you have the money, but when do you have the money, right?
First turn, not so much.
There is sands and city grids that need to be trashed.
Yes.
There's you kind of have to check it anyway, because it might be sands and city grid, but. If it's not one, then you have some time, I guess. So we have Leela, Ollie playing Leela, and he installs the security testing, and he gets out the new awesome card that everybody's excited about, which is Earthrise Hotel.
Yeah, I'm yet to use it in games, but when I've seen other runners playing it against me, it is a really good card.
It is rather pricey, but the kind of card you get out of it is worth it so much. And it's so good that it's now neutral. Oof. And oh man, those players are fast. So we had to see a security testing run that was completed, I think. And we see FFX. He plugged a hole in front of R&D and he installed another asset.
Yeah, it's just I played a lot of not Fast Advanced NEH, but just the many servers. I think the popular names for them have been kind of Shark Tank and Nearpad. And when you have like 18 servers out, the runner just doesn't know what to do because they're fully expecting Fast Advance.
Yeah, I played actually a Shark Tank in this very tournament against a person.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I was playing Leela myself, and it was pretty exciting. I won anyway, but it was at some point it got really dicey. And we see a run on HQ, and there is an Eli. So. Yeah.
I'm always in two minds with Leela about kind of when to run, because you want stuff to stay face down unless, I guess, you have an emergency shutdown.
You always want to have at least one server that's kind of like completely not rest.
Yeah.
So whenever the corporation decides to score, you can just dig that server out of the ice and then do some vicious attack on it. You kind of have to be prepared all the time. So that's why a lot of people like to use Logos with Leela.
I'm one of those people. It is brilliant, like being able to bounce back the R&D ice and go fetch an indexing.
Yeah, so that's always, or bounce back the HQ ice and fetch an account siphon or legwork, right?
Yes, and just the swing is just incredible when you're able to do that.
Sadly, it doesn't trigger on your own score. So we see that's a discard, I guess. He discarded a
special order, I think.
Special order, yeah.
See, if I was the corporation, I'd probably think that means he has at least 1, maybe 2 breakers in hand. So, I don't know.
He has another special order in hand.
Or another special order.
I mean, he was thinking a bit about it, so it wasn't the easiest of decisions, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got kind of account siphon or Mr. Lee, or kind of cards that he really wants to keep that kind of trump the special order.
More remotes being installed and an ice in front of a HQ. That's really shows you that FFOX is a very experienced player. He I really like how he keeps an unrest ice in front of HQ always against a criminal.
Yeah.
So the criminal cannot be sure to land an account cipher.
Yeah. No, it's a really good play.
And we see a Kati being installed, a Kati being clicked.
She works really well with Leela, being able to kind of, because with Leela you want to sit back a lot of the time and kind of wait for the corporation to score, to trigger your abilities, and maybe even Logos as well. So having kind of that slow burn economy can be really, really beneficial for the late game.
Absolutely, I agree, yes. Although he does have the security testing, so he still has like an income to, he can still be aggressive if there's open servers, and there's going to be open servers, it's any age.
Yeah, why protect my pad campaign when it's going to cost you 4 to trash it anyway?
He did install a passport here right now, so he cannot attack the central servers. We have to expect, it's any age, so usually you will see quandaries or Enigmas?
Yes.
Enigma? Yes.
Yeah, the big brother of quandaries.
Exactly, with 2 subroutines, all grown up.
Yes.
So we see a Desperado. So he plays the Leela with Desperado, which seems to be counterintuitive because you think that Desperado kind of rewards you for running a lot. Yeah. And running a lot means that a lot of things get rest. So it seems like counterintuitive at first, but it's actually quite successful.
I do think there's kind of, I don't want to say anything negative towards it, but I think there's a lot of people just kind of put Desperado in as a default console for Criminal a lot of the time without really thinking of would Doppelganger or Logos or even something else be more beneficial to the deck. I think the power of that 1 credit per successful run is just very, very difficult to get away from when you're building a Criminal deck. It
is, and it's not an expensive console, so it's not like you have to commit to very much to it, so to speak. We see also a Mimic getting out, so 2/3 of the rig is already set up. The one card, I think Ollie hasn't run on that one card that is not rest, right?
Between the 2 pad campaigns, no, I don't believe so.
But we know that now that there's Sands and City Grid installing there, and then we'll see a bounce in a second here. Even using the shipment from Sands to score it through, and I think
that was the Astro. It looked like he went to put a counter on it.
Is that what is that, an Astro? Because possibly. It looks Beal-ish. Well, I guess we will see later on when we start editing this.
We can wildly speculate at the moment, though.
It is a 2-3 agenda. That's for sure. So we see the ice on R&D being bounced, and Ollie gets the 3 credits for his security testing, gets the money out of Kati, has a pretty sensible amount of credits here right now running on R&D. Oh, wraparound.
Oh, man,
what the That's FOX. He has like this uncanny ability to just completely predict what's going to happen. It's amazing. Amazing. And there was like 2 ice. You could have bounced the other ice. Maybe there were 2 wraparounds. I don't know, man.
Yeah, possibly. And again, I think the exposed cards are really underrated, especially for Leela, who does want to kind of be sure what they're bouncing back as well.
Yeah.
So stuff like Satellite Uplink, and she's on the card art for that as well. So I feel compelled to put that in my Leela decks when I build them.
I've been experimenting with Snitch with Leela recently.
Oh yeah.
Which is also nice, but the only problem I have with Snitch is it costs 3. It should have cost 1 or so.
Yeah.
It's just a bit too expensive. It slows you down early on.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some quite economically successful Snitch au revoir decks recently.
Yeah, that's nice. That's fun. But those decks got me back to Snitch because Snitch is very useful when you got it. Like being able to expose all the ice is so nice.
Yeah.
Especially with a criminal who cannot fetch a program mid-run, so they have to know what awaits them before they can attack it.
Yeah.
And these days with great ice, expose of ice becomes so much more powerful.
Yeah, and there are so many ice that do so many bad things if you run into them unprepared. So, yeah, I think Expose is definitely one of those kind of abilities that's kind of, I don't want to say fallen out of fashion, but kind of a bit neglected by a lot of players. They seem to kind of be quite happy just checking everything, face checking everything.
Yeah, and I think the FOG is like throwing some nice things into the into the giving us some nice cards that will maybe change this a little bit, where it becomes more difficult to face check stuff. Anyway, back to the game. We see it in Jackson Howard being rest, and FFX uses the Jackson Howard, and meanwhile Leela gets out a Data Sucker, runs on the R&Ds with the Corolla. But there is a Architect breaks the Architect with and wraparound in 3 credits and gets through, but there's nothing. And we see another Earthrise Hotel out as well.
And that Architect is going to be quite painful to break every single time you want to check R&D as well.
Yeah, there's no way it will go away. It's still a bit of difficult, but on the other hand, 3 credits. I mean, he just needs a R&D interface, and that's going to be like a really nice run every time. And
with being able to bank 3 credits a turn with Katie as well, and even get 3 credits a turn with the Desperado security testing runs as well, and I think it's probably going to be okay financially to maybe check once a turn and keep a good R&D lock on there.
Definitely. And of course the Eli on our HQ is also not doing anything, so whenever he gets the opportunity to bounce something, then he will be able to account siphon. So let's see if FFX will rest that outer ice on HQ.
I mean, it's... what was it? Oh, double Eli!
Oof. Ooh, painful, but yeah, let's do this. Come on.
I wonder if he has additional motivation to rise that if he has agendas in hand, and then it kind of stops the HQ ice getting bounced back.
So I think he pays himself through the both Elis. Uses the Data Sucker token though, and he gets 10 credits and 2 tags. But usually with NEH, that's the thing with NEH, you can account siphon them pretty safely. I rarely see an NEH builds that has tag punishment. And emergency shutdown on the Architect. Nice.
Oh, that was a good call. That's a good way to get around it.
Yeah, some additional punishment, economic punishment from Oli here.
Yeah, and then obviously the one way to get rid of... Could you bounce... Yeah, you can bounce back into a de-rest Architect, can't you? So
Definitely. It's a de-rest card.
Yeah.
Oh, but you see FFOX being like very aggressive here, getting money and spending all his money to trash the Leela. Wow. Crazy.
That could potentially really hurt Ollie in the end game, because Katie towards the end with Leela is, if you have maybe 4, 5, 6 turns banked on her, then all of a sudden you can threaten anywhere, and it's quite a scary prospect when you're the corporation and you see someone take 15 to 18 credits off Katie Jones.
Definitely. I mean, it's always painful to lose Katie Jones here. But on the other hand, FFX is giving Oli now some free access on top of R&D, and Oli also runs on the Jackson, I think.
Yes, Jackson's been run on, and I didn't see everything that went in. There was a hedge fund and I think 2 face down cards went in.
Yes, and then FFX also checks the discard pile of Oli. He wants to make sure that whatever is in there. And Dirty Laundry on R&D. And he sees a card which is nothing of importance. It is just a hedge fund.
Yeah, well, I think keeping that Architect, or maybe not running on that when FFOX has 3 credits to res it is a good idea. Was it 4 credits for Architect? But
wow, have you seen this? What just happened? Wow, Oli ran on both pet campaigns and trashed both of them, really putting FFX here on like really damaging economy of FFX. Like he really has to like click now. Oh man! Well, FFX has the sweepspeak ready here to be all up to 5 credits. Now he can rest that Architect again, and he
there
does.
It is, yep. I think trashing the pad campaigns was probably a really good call at that point, because you've outmoneyed the corp substantially. You've got a lot of money from the account siphon, and just to prevent that drip economy for later on is something that people tend to overlook a little bit and think, it's only 1 credit here and there, but yeah, when you have maybe 2 pad campaigns and a marked account on the board, 3 credit can be quite a lot.
Definitely, and I'm really enjoying this game right now because they're both so incredibly aggressive towards each other. They're smashing each other's economy, like one blow after another. This is really great. I'm really just sad that that Oli hasn't seen any agenda yet. I mean, he was so aggressive so far. This should have been rewarded with an agenda.
Absolutely. Oh, you can see some biotic labor in FFOX's hand as well, so maybe he's just kind of waiting for the to have 7 or 8 credits to be able to start scoring out.
I mean, if that was an account siphon, Astro script, then he could have done it probably already. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, he's economically not in a position to be able to do this right now. He's really struggling a little bit. His HQ is way open. Yeah, just 3 credits to see 1 card is okay. I mean, it's just 2 credits because there is a Desperado running on HQ. Ooh, yeah. Okay, he knows what's up.
I think at this point you
and de-resing again. Oof. That architect that's a very expensive architect in upkeep. Oof. Oof. And now we see an ice installed in front of that, whatever that is, and nothing else. I guess. Wow, if that could be a code kit, that would be hilarious.
If it's a Lotus Field, I've seen that in a lot of NEH decks. There's a nice kind of maybe 1 or 2 off splash.
There's usually 1 or 2 in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Run on R&D again, but there's nothing. Of course, now the architect cannot be rest, so it's just 1 credit to see a card. That's so great.
Not too bad at all, and you're getting the data sucker tokens too.
I knew it! I knew it! Oh!
It's even better than a Lotus Field.
Code kit. So the idea is, of course, that this passport can be used only on central servers, not on remote servers. So that quandary keeps him out right now.
I really have to hope that Ollie has a Rex that he can put down and get through.
If that is going to be an agenda in there, that's going to be hilarious.
Well, it was naked for a while. It didn't have any ice protection, so I wonder if that's another Sansan.
Yeah, I think it's a rather Sansan or something. Like, having a Sansan that can be trashed is so powerful. But it's not being rest, and he doesn't really have the money to use if it's a Sansan to use it.
Yeah.
So FFOX is really in a weird position right now. He really needs a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
He needs the money to rest the architect, he needs the money to fast advance, he needs just the monies.
Yeah, and I think he's used quite a few of his sweeps weeks and his hedge fund already, and obviously with Ollie trashing the pad campaigns, he's really struggling with the cash now.
He just gets money, and Ollie also gets money with a sure gamble.
Yeah, I think you could quite easily keep pressuring maybe into the architect res here. Yes. That's exactly what he does.
Yeah, come on, res it. He doesn't res it. We don't see quite what it is. It's a yellow card.
Seems to be leaning one way.
That yellow card has not been... Ooh, second Kati being discarded there. Huh. So I guess with he doesn't want to remove the 2 tags. And he just wants to keep going. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could maybe install it and kind of bait the corporation into wasting 2 credits to de-res, but then to uninstall it. But I think it wastes more of your time and effort than it does the corpse.
I just realized I haven't noticed before, but also the security testing was also trashed. Oof.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oof.
They're really kind of destroying each other's economy.
Furiously nagging at each other, just hitting each other in the face, not protecting each other, just hitting each other in the face. You know, like a final fight from Matrix. just an exchange of punches in the face.
It's like Neo and Agent Smith in a recession.
Yeah. It's like in slow motion. You see the ripples going across their faces
as the cars just explode into confetti.
Exactly. All right. So another run around the 3rd time this architect was res.
I really hope Ollie has his. Oh, perfect.
Beautiful. Finally. That's what we want to see. Ollie must be relieved to see that.
I was just going to say, I really hope he has his 3rd emergency shutdown ready to play for later to get the architect de-resed again. But maybe he's less worried now. He has the Astra script.
Yeah, I mean, at least we know that the train is not going to go for too long, and just being to bounce that card behind the quandary, whatever it was, it's now back on the hand of FOX. And we see an HQ interface, so that's really great right now. He can get through with his data sucker tokens, can get through the Eli's with his data sucker tokens, and see 2 cards. So both cards that are about fast advance. Ooh.
Yes, it does seem like FFOX has all these fast advance tools, but nothing to use them on.
Yeah, also, I think he's very low on money. Although, yeah, he could have fast advance something. So we know that he probably doesn't have a agenda on his hand right now. Ooh, sweep. FOX being back on top again.
He is, and I think he drew into a fast track a little while ago as well. So with that and the shipments and the biotic labors, he can definitely start scoring stuff out when he draws it. And it does actually look like he's got an agenda in his hand as well.
But on the other hand, he does. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Because the thing is, like with the HQ interface right now, he cannot really afford to keep agendas on hand. He has to assume that Ollie will try to do some aggression there. Ooh, daily business show. Something that needs to be trashed. Yeah. It's just something. If Desperados, it's really nice to check those cards.
Yeah, and get paid for it as well.
yeah. Like you can. Oh, nice! Another run on the R&D, and there is breaking news. Bouncing one of the star cards. Not the daily business show though, right?
No. But we have some more drip economy coming up now, so that'll hopefully help FFOX out for later on.
I think it does. It's funny that he didn't res the daily business show.
I wonder if it's. Actually, I don't know why, because I in this position, I'd have probably rezzed it, because then you're...
it's 2 credits, right?
Yeah, and Ollie has a pretty decent way, and it's quite cheap for him to get into R&D, although he's only sitting on 1 credit at the moment, so maybe he's thinking that it's a bit too expensive and a bit too much to get into R&D right now, so maybe he's kind of quite happy.
I mean, this is a very like methodological player who really has thinking a lot of possibilities. So I'm thinking that he really wants to have some money for some shenanigans. Maybe there's a Sands and City Grid out there. He wants to use it with a fast track or something. I don't know. There's the daily business show run again. We already seen that one.
Maybe you just keep checking the daily business show until you have enough credits to trash it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid strategy.
Yeah. Such a shame these security testings in the bin, but he's got Ollie has an account siphon in hand, so if he gets the money up, he can start getting kind of denying FFOX the credits. Definitely.
And we see now the daily business show gets rest. And now he can check the 2 cards from the R&D, and he puts the NAPD, I think that was, on the bottom.
Yes.
Oh man, that's so nice with the daily business show to be able to put the NAPDs at the bottom. It's like you never saw those agendas, then they don't exist. Ooh, and we see Sands and City Grid being scored. The Sands and City Grid being rest, and then a Beal being scored. Right. So he's up 4 points. Ollie is at 3 points. Running on archives, gotta see that. Ooh, that is a quandary. Well, that's not going to stop him right now.
No Jacksons on the board either to bring anything back, but I don't think there was too many face-down cards.
Oh, that's not an agenda. And there's an architect being trashed, and lots of other things that are not so interesting. But, you have to check. Sometimes there's, surprisingly an agenda in there.
It can be really good to hide an agenda in there for a good few turns while you're waiting to find Jackson, especially if the runner is kind of just looking at HQ and R&D and kind of forgetting all about archives.
Especially if you had unprotected servers otherwise, because then it's they're going to see the... if there's security testing, they're going to do the unprotected servers. Yeah. So we see inside job to get rid of the Sands and City Grid. Wise decision there, I think.
Yeah, I think Ollie's seen a few times the biotic labor in hand, so I think that was a good call. And it looks like there's a Beal in hand now as well, so not a bad time to...
Yeah, if he hadn't done that, there would be another 2 points for... And also, something I really hate about this game as a Leela player, that there's no unrest ice out.
I know, it feels like you're not kind of playing to the card's strength, but...
yeah. But now there is, so now there's the 3rd ice in front of R&D. Which is not really improving the situation, to be honest. I mean, yes, I can use the ability, but on the other hand, I really don't want to see that 3rd ice here. Very aggressive of FOX. He doesn't really have too much money, but he still decides to put the ice up there, paying 2 credits for this.
Yeah, I guess if he's put a couple of agendas to the bottom at this point, maybe he's worried about Ollie getting in and seeing kind of just a lucky top deck of an agenda, especially if he knows he doesn't have anything in hand and he just has the fast advanced tools, which it kind of looks like he does. So I guess he's really worried that there are more agendas coming, and if he can't kind of put them to the bottom with business show until he's ready, then he wants to kind of keep them outside.
Now we see the issue here. That was a pop-up window. That will actually stop the run. Because Ollie now doesn't have the money to get through the toll booth, pop-up window, and the other eyes. That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, so he jacks out and gets the credit. Oh.
That was a really good play, actually.
Wait a minute, did he? Huh, because it was at 3 credits.
Huh. He got the credit from the pop-up window as well?
I think he hadn't paid the pop-up window. Maybe that was a mistake, I don't know. I don't even know, man. Alright, so we see what just happened? Oh, he scored an agenda? Is that true? Oh, yeah.
I think he put the agenda in the score area straight away and then showed the shipment from Sansan.
Yeah, so that was... we have to assume that was a breaking news right there. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then we see account siphon going on here, and he can click through one of the Elis, and then he can use his data sucker token and credits to get through the second Eli. And now, once again, FOX has no money left.
And that Desperado is really doing a lot of work for Ollie as well, so you can kind of see why he's kind of chosen that over something maybe like Logos, because he's such an aggressive runner and he's kind of checking everything, running so many times on the service. He's got so much money from the Desperados, making it really worthwhile for him.
And look at him trashing the ability business show, not trashing the pet campaign though, interestingly.
I guess he doesn't want to go down to... Oh no, he's on, he's on 8 credits. I thought he was just on 4. Yeah, I guess maybe he wants to keep a more significant credit advantage over the corporation at this point. Oh,
no. Thinking about this. Getting credit install. Alright, FOX wanted to install something behind the Quandary, but decided against it and got a credit instead. He wants to have 3 credits for some reason. And that is a Jackson that Ollie, I guess, runs on, and the Jackson is being used. Getting back the Sansan, getting back a shipment from Sansan. Oh no, 2 shipments from Sansan. No. Just 2 shipments from Sansan and a mystery card.
And Ollie has his sneak door beta in hand as well, so if he starts feeling the agendas are getting clogged in HQ, he has a nice way to get in.
That's exciting.
Yes.
I've been recently told, and I checked it myself, and it's true that every Leela deck needs a sneak door beta.
Yes.
I mean, you could argue that every criminal deck needs a sneak door beta, but with the Leela, it's especially aggressive.
Oh, there it is, and it comes out just as we mentioned it.
Because with Leela, it's so easy to keep at least one server clean of ice.
Yeah.
And so having another server that is vulnerability there is just so good. Ooh, running on there and that's nice. That's an Utopia shard, I think. Is it?
I always get Utopian Eden mixed up. I think it's Utopia.
Then running again, using the... so he uses the shard immediately to make FOX discard 2 cards. He really wants to get rid of the fast advance tools, I'm assuming. Oh, but he didn't. Oh, he didn't. Running again to expose the second card there, and that was the hedge fund. So I guess next turn he would have to check the discarded cards, maybe?
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't leave himself enough clicks to do that in this turn.
I really like how he trashed Jackson, which could have rescued whatever agenda was in there. Or I guess he trashed an agenda there because FOX was really making sure that this Nito Beta won't work, that running on Archives won't work. Or at least he can't make it sure, right? Yeah, because, everything is vulnerable right now. Running Archives, that's not going to stop him.
Yeah.
And is that an agenda? Will that be an agenda? Oh, it's not an agenda! Ooh!
It's pop up in a fast track, it looked like.
Well, fast track is good.
Yes, that is good to get out of the way, and I do like the kind of putting one piece of ice down in front of the Quandary to kind of suggest to the runner there's something in Archives worth checking to kind of get them to waste a turn, especially if, I mean, it cost him, 2 credits to resurrect and 1 to install it, so...
Yeah, 3 credits.
3 credit bluff.
That's nice. That's nice. And also, I mean, generally, like to make it a bit more costly, so so the runner cannot just run with impunity on the HQs.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I guess make it just a little bit more taxing, so he's not getting through as free as if he was just going through the quandary instead of the 2 Elis.
Yeah, because you have to consider if it was just a quandary, then the Desperado would always pay for the run. Ooh, NAPD! Oh man! Oh, he cannot score it. Oh.
I would love for someone to track, just across Netrunner as a whole, the amount of times that NAPD has been accessed and runners don't have the credits to steal it. I think that would probably be more than the times they've had the credits.
It's so easy for this to happen. It's a bit ridiculous. So Ollie just gets credits, and I guess he wants to try it again. I don't think there might be no Jacksons anymore left.
I think at least 2 are in the trash. I can't remember if the 3rd one's in there as well.
Score, and it's over.
There it is.
It is over. Whew, that was close. That was close.
I've never seen a Leela deck run that aggressively. I was so impressed. And like the fact that Desperado is really his only econ throughout most of the game as well.
Yeah. I mean, I was really also impressed how FFOX how much he invested into making sure that Ollie's economy gets down. And I guess it paid off in the end because he wasn't able to score that NAPD at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like some really aggressive players here right now, and I'm really excited to see the second round of those players. But before you do that, Mark, can you tell me something about Nerdrunners?
Nerdrunners. I will use a fact that's different from the last one that I gave. So, Nerdrunners, actually, my girlfriend came up with the name because she calls me a nerd for playing Netrunner, and so whenever I would go out on Tuesday nights to play at London Bridge, she would say, "Oh, you're off to play Nerdrunner then." And so obviously,
well, she's not right. She's not wrong.
She's not wrong, definitely. But we decided to take the name for the podcast. Well, we decided to kind of buck the trend of taking the kind of using a card name or a term from the game. We thought we'll go with Nerdrunners because it's a bit different and it kind of sounds a bit like Netrunner, and yeah, I just thought it was a fun name to take for the podcast.
Excellent. So where can people watch this or listen to this podcast?
Listen to us. Obviously, we're on iTunes and you can find us there. But if you want to come through the website, then it's canlaugh.com/Nerdrunners. That's how you can get to us. And we post every episode on Reddit, and it's like I said, it's on iTunes, and you can download from the website or just listen through the player on the site as well.
Excellent. Yeah, you should guys check it out because I really like your show. It's really fun.
Thank you very much, Krystian.
You seem to be having a lot of fun talking about Netrunner.
Well,
that's the most important thing.
we end up talking about Netrunner so much, Steph and I, we decided we might as well just record it.
yeah, that's the way it usually goes. Like, we do it anyway, so why not just record it and at least make it something useful out of this.
Yeah, and like I say, we often talk about cards that don't see a lot of play. Like recently, I've been playing a lot with Ghost Branch and enjoying that. And so hopefully, we're kind of hoping that through our silly decks that in no way will ever be competitive, we'll get people to think about cards and maybe try cards they don't really play. In fact, Steph recently made a deck that consisted of Monolith, Boxy, and Trade-In. And the sole purpose of the deck was just get enough money to get out the Monolith, and then just trade it in for a Boxy. So that gives you some indication of the silliness we do.
That sounds like somebody understood what Netrunner is for. I completely endorse this approach. Yeah. All right, so we are going to leave for now, and we will return soon with the second game from this fourth round. I hope you will join us next time, where we are going to and always have been hacking the planet.
Hack the planet!
Get in the car!
Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car!
Shit on me.